Welcome to HW Hockey.
What's up, you beauties? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some exciting insider news to share with you. It's all about the bold move made by the Philadelphia Flyers in their attempt to shake things up in the upcoming NHL draft. I'm your host, Jim Iacovone, and you're watching HW Hockey. Let's dive right into it. So our source for this juicy bit of information is none other than Pierre LeBrun from Insider Trading. According to LeBrun, Flyers made a pretty aggressive pitch to the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're eyeing that coveted fourth overall pick in the draft, and they're willing to make some serious moves to get it. So if you're a Flyers fan, this should be exciting for you. Let's get to some of the tweets from earlier today and last night. So the first one that came out from Pierre LeBrun on Insider Trading, what we're being told is the Flyers made a pretty aggressive pitch to the Blue Jackets on Wednesday, offering a swap of first-round picks, also a roster player, and also perhaps next year's first-round pick, part of a package to try to get the fourth overall. And I think more was released about this here. So Elliotte Friedman on 32 Thoughts thinks Columbus is at the center of the universe when it comes to potentially moving down, and there are teams out there who believe that the Blue Jackets are motivated to do something big. Pierre LeBrun reported that Philadelphia, I didn't hear everything Pierre said, but he's right that Philly was in there. Columbus reportedly asked for the 12th overall, 32nd overall, and Colorado's first-round pick from the Flyers in exchange for 4. And so I think originally the Flyers turned that down. They're going to talk more today. I have a feeling it's those 3 picks and a roster player, but we'll see. So let's kind of break down what this trade could mean for both teams. For the Flyers, moving up to the 4th overall pick gives them a shot at selecting a top-tier prospect who can make an immediate impact on the roster. The aggressive, I think, move signals that the Flyers are serious about rebuilding and also contending in the near future. And what about the Blue Jackets? What's in it for them, right? By moving down in the draft, they'd be gaining additional assets, a roster player who can contribute right away, and we'll get to who you guys think the roster player could be, and another first-round pick next year. This could be a smart play for Columbus, especially if they're looking to add depth and flexibility to their lineup and, of course, draft assets. So let's speculate a bit, guys. Like there's a lot of you watching and a lot of you in the comments. Who might be the Flyers targeting with the 4th overall pick? Could it be Demidov? Could it be Lindstrom? And which roster player are they willing to part with? You know, there's a lot of guys that have been in the rumor mill for the Flyers of late. It's exciting. I'm excited for who could be there at 4. Like, this would be a massive move. So, of course, this is all still in the realm of speculation. But the fact that such an aggressive pitch has already been made kind of shows the Flyers are willing to invest in the future. And also, I think, now, right? Because these guys, the forwards that they're looking at, if it is indeed forwards they're trading up for, wouldn't take as much time as the defense to get here. You know, we're going to, for example, a guy like Oliver Bonk, we're not going to see him for at least another 2-3 years, you know? So it's interesting. So I want to know what you guys think. Should the Blue Jackets accept the offer? Are you guys excited about that offer? Is it too much? Which players and picks do you think are involved? Let's get to the comments and see what you guys think now. We have Mr. Twitzer. I say do it. Caution to the wind. Yeah. Ty Shelton. The only person I'd move up that far for is Demidov. I would like Lindstrom, but as you've mentioned in the last show, his back injury scares me. In too deep. Appreciate the rumors of Briere trying to get something done. After a decade of mediocrity and missing the playoffs for 3 straight years, something has to be done. And yeah, I think we were talking about this yesterday, but after having to sit through Chuck Fletcher, who I think tried, to his credit, he tried, but he was so vanilla in the moves that he made. You know, they were so obvious, and he got burned on a lot of them too, which to me kind of shows that maybe he was taken advantage of a little bit. His trades weren't very creative, you know. So what we're seeing here is, in my opinion, you guys might disagree, there are 2 bona fide studs in this draft. Top line bona fide studs. And to me, that's Celebrini, obviously, and Demidov. Lindstrom is going to be a very good player. Maybe he even has first line potential. We'll see. But Demidov for me is easily, you know, a top line guy. So I would trade up for him. I would give up I would swap the 12, the 32, and the second first round pick to me is, you're getting probably a third line guy with that pick. So I'm easily trading that. The 2025 one, I think it was rumored to be the Colorado pick, the one they got back for Sean Walker. So thank you, Sean Walker, for that. I'm moving that too, because that's going to probably be a late first round pick next year. And if they want a roster player, I want to know who you guys think the roster player is. Who could the Flyers be saying no to? Like, what player would it be? I don't think it's Konechny. I think that would be obviously too much. So let's get to some more comments here. Into Deep follows up. If nothing is done, send him down the Delaware. All right. Troy Nowak. First time seeing Troy in the channel chat here. So thanks for hanging out. Troy, I'm a CBJ fan, and I personally wouldn't trade back unless we received Konechny. Oh, there you go. I'm curious, Troy, what would a trade look like for you? Would it be Konechny plus, or would it be Konechny for the 4? I know that Columbus is also talking with Carolina for Nichas, and that's an interesting deal there. So I'd be curious to hear more from a Columbus standpoint. Nick Yakubel chimes in. Agree with Ty. They're probably shooting for Demidov. 3 first rounders is a bit high. Yeah, I mean, when you say 3 first rounders, it sounds like a lot. But when you consider one is the 32, that's, I don't want to say it's basically a second round pick, because it is still a first round pick, but it's so late. And this draft is not very deep. And it can always acquire more first round picks in 2025 down the road. So I get what you're saying. But to me, it just seems like if you're going to get a bona fide stud, potential superstar in Demidov, that's not that big of an ask. Scott Taylor chiming in. It is Demidov. I think there are worries about Caden Lindstrom. Fair enough. Chris Bennett chimes in. All points to Demidov, but I think the move is for Bouillon. And you guys know I love Zeev Bouillon. Watched him all year long. And I think when I started watching him, he was always a first round pick, but he was nowhere near the top 10. And as the season played out, people started to notice, and very good player. And now all of a sudden looks like he's going to go top 5. Let's get to more. Don Wuvius Carr. I would only trade for Demidov. Don Wuvius, first time I've seen you in the chat here, man. Hopefully we see more of you. Thanks for hanging out. All right, Scott Taylor's got some players here. 12th, Brink and/or Andre plus Anaheim second next year. I'm not sure if that gets it done, Scott. I think it needs to be more. I don't know I'm not sure if teams have the same interest in Brink as they maybe would Farabee. I don't know. Kenny G chiming in. Let's see if Danny B can get a Russian 5 in Philly, starting with Michkov and Demidov, and that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see the Russian connection. I want to see 2 dynamic players on the first line. And yeah, they're both wingers, which Flyers haven't had a really good number 1 center in a little while, a good center prospect since Couturier. But I got to see it. I want to see the dynamic Russians together. Let's scroll down a little bit more here. Unholy Hairdo. First time we're seeing you in here. Hopefully we see more of you. If they're trying to get all the way to 4, it's most likely for Lindstrom, not Demidov. Remember what Danny said. What did he say? Maybe I missed it. What did Danny say, Unholy Hairdo? I missed that, I guess. All right, so this is from Troy, from the Columbus fan here. I think Don Waddell is trying to make a splash today. By all accounts, he's trying to make trades. I could see CBJ giving up 4th overall pick for Konechny, the 12th overall, and a late pick. And that would make more sense, I think, from Columbus' point of view, if they're looking to put a roster together now, right? They would still be getting assets, obviously, the 12th overall pick and a late pick. But if Carolina is coming with Nichas, what's closer to matching a Nichas? Is that Konechny or a Farabee for Flyers fans, And then, so Troy's he's got it all worked out. And then I could see Waddell trading the 12th for Nichas. And that's kind of what was rumored, right? New Jersey was offering the 10th for Nichas, so they would have to do a little better than the 12th. But if they're looking to compete this year, getting Konechny and Nichas, the same draft would certainly be a haul. Tarasenko would be a great pickup for the young Russians. Yeah. So the thing with that is, like, the Flyers are kind of loaded at wing. He'll lean more towards a center than a wing. Oh, you know what? He did say that, didn't he? That's interesting. So maybe Lindstrom is the pick. And a lot of people do like Lindstrom. The Flyers need size and they need centers. And Lindstrom has skill. He's fast, physical. He seems like a Flyer. So maybe it is Lindstrom. I'm not going to be mad either way. Chris Bennett, Demidov, and Michkov have experimented as C's. Michkov would be less likely now. Curious how strong that connection with Ska is if they can ask to have Demidov in the center for a season. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm a proponent of play the players where they play. For so long the Flyers would draft players and play them at different positions. And I'm not sure how different that is for hockey. Like I grew up playing soccer, and if I had to play a different position, you need to know everything about the position in order to play it well. And these guys are playing at the highest level, so I don't know that I want that. I'm not sure if that messes with development. Like, do you want them relearning a position while they're trying to develop? I don't know. I'm against that, but maybe these guys are a lot smarter and more talented, obviously. So maybe it's not that big a deal. Mr. Twitzer, don't know what Danny can get done, but after 10 years of spinning the tires, it's so nice to see him so aggressive. And yeah, just the rumor that came out that he's gone all the way up to 4. Like, when's the last time a top 5 pick was traded? And even just kick the tires, and while maybe Flyers fans were excited and we would do that deal all day, the 12, the 32, and a future 2025 1, I don't think gets it done. Obviously, Flyers fans would jump all over that because you're trading 3 later first-round picks for a stud. But why would Columbus do that, So it would make sense for me if they wanted a top 6 player in return, a Farabee, or like Troy mentioned earlier, a Konechny. If Konechny was in the deal, that would be an easy no for me because that's a lot. It has to be something that makes sense. Into deep, I'd love to see either Konechny, Farabee, Lawton, or all of the above moved. Sick of seeing them. Yeah, I think we maybe see at least one move there. Nick Jacobel, do we think the Sens talk is dead? Still think Pinto would be a nice addition for the right price. And he's a guy that I really want to, Pinto. No, there was talk that the Flyers Sens talk is dead because I think the 25 and potentially Korpisalo was supposed to come to the Flyers. And it looked like Ottawa pivoted to the deal with Boston. So from all accounts, from all the insiders out there, they're saying that the deal is dead. But I'm sure there's some pieces still there if they want to rekindle talks. So Matt Beagle chiming in. First time I'm seeing Matt in here. Imagine if Danny gets Atkinson to Columbus. And that's something I thought about as well. Let's say the Flyers do include the roster player. Okay, we'll include this player, but we're going to need you to take on Cam Atkinson too. And you're kind of sending Atkinson back home, a place that you would assume maybe he wants to go to. I haven't looked at Columbus's roster, but maybe he gets, top 9 minutes. Maybe he sneaks into the top 6, and that's an asset and ends up being an asset if he has a good, healthy start to the season that Columbus can flip at the deadline. I don't know. We'll see. But I had that thought as well, Matt. We're on the same page there. Kenny G, I remember how teams were scared off from Matthew Barzal when he dropped from the top 5 in 2015. He's an all-star. So Lindstrom could be an option. Yeah, Lindstrom's a Flyer. Like, he's a guy that Flyer fans will love. They'll love him right away too because of the way he plays and his style of play. Very talented player, very physical, big guys, and he's a center, which I don't know if I've said it already. Flyers kind of need that. So yeah, guys, that's the update now. I assume we're going to have a lot more updates and rumors from now until the start of the draft. We will be going. We will have a live stream during the draft tonight, Jack and I. So hopefully we see a lot of you guys there. And yeah, let's wrap this one up here. Oh, let's get to one more comment because I agree with this. I'm happy to see an aggressive stance, if not anything else. This is from Avant Garde. And if they do go to 4, then Demidov has to be there. Not worth package for a deep because you can get a good one at 12. This draft is going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And that's what I agree with. I'm the type, if you have a guy and he's your guy, you know he's going to be a stud. And all the guys coming after him, you're like, all right, well, we're getting a good player. If you're not excited for those players, go get your guy. That's how I am. That's how I would be. That's my kind of like philosophy there. If Catton or Yakimchuk or Iserman are all going to fall to 12 and you're like, yeah, these guys are pretty good, but they don't excite you, go get your guy. If Demidov or Lindstrom is your guy, you can justify giving up the assets because you believe this guy. So I'm a fan of that. And if that move doesn't work out, you did what you thought was right. Hey, Megan Riley checking in. I'm excited to see who the Flyers draft tonight. I don't know if I see them trade up or not, though. Yeah, we'll see. And they'll definitely get a good player at 12. But I think now with the rumors, they've kicked the tires on 6 with Utah. They've talked to Ottawa at 7. Apparently the talks are dead. Now they've kicked the tires on pick 4 with Columbus. And I'm not sold that Anaheim is not done talking. I think it came out recently. So how I think the top few picks are going to go. Celebrini, obviously number 1. It seems like everyone thinks Chicago is going Lev Shunov at 2. And I think most recently I saw that Anaheim is going to go Bouillon at 3. But I'm not sure if that's one of those smokescreen because Montreal was also rumored to be picking Bouillon. So maybe they're trying to get Montreal to now trade up to 3 and Anaheim still gets 5+. I don't know. This is all the fun stuff, all the jockeying that goes on before the drafts, guys and girls. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We're going to be back in just a little bit with the Sharks update. The Sharks traded up to pick 11. They jumped the Flyers. So why? Why did they do that? Are they looking at the player the Flyers would potentially pick at 12? We're going to talk about that. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and we'll see you next time on HW Hockey YouTube channel.